sound check for the first official episode of Spiral Radio 101 that is hosted via Christina Ice Dreamer, aka Icy Wiz, aka Darren Christina Devereaux's home in the
I
east
know. I think it's great.
versus Steven's home in the southwest. Now, you've been doing podcasts on various KI games for 9 years as of this month.
That seems like such a long time.
I know.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
I mean, you actually did one of the first live streams of Wizard 101, like right there in your house, like 3 computers ago, and Lord knows how many software programs ago. But like, you've always done this.
That's true.
You've always done the video end. Leela did the audio when she was on the show, because she's like the podcasting. I almost said mistress. That would have been really wrong. Anyway, you've been doing it all these years, and I've always been kind of jealous. I've always sort of wanted to be able to do it if needed, and now you've spread out with your own streaming channel that does not, in fact, always do kiddie games in kiddie language.
No.
And you were always sort of getting stuck going back and forth between, the profile that worked for one game made OBS happy and a profile that worked for another game that made OBS happy. And finally, I might have gotten a little grumpy. I said, for God's sake, just let me stream it. And you were like, what you waiting for? Okay, wait, I just went by a pirate named Tim Burton. It's my favorite thing ever. Okay. So this is our sound check doing it. Now, it's a super important sound check, and I promise Amanda, if you're watching and listening, this is the really good part. Because we're not just doing like the whole random sound check, is this thing on? We're going to talk about where I had an early dinner tonight. Is this place? Have you ever heard of a place called Freddy's Steak Burgers?
Yeah.
Okay, well,
Yeah,
I
we
had
have them here.
You have? Okay. Why didn't you ever tell me that these delicious burgers existed?
I don't know. I guess it never crossed my mind.
Okay. And B, now I'm mad. C, I never heard of this place until like 48 hours ago. I was at work. I always work the evening shift. And these 2 nice young people came in, and they were wearing these red shirts that said Freddy's Steak Burgers. And if it involves the word burger, I'm on board. Sometimes I find out it's actually like a little dog burger or something afterwards, and then I'm like, no, never mind. But if it says burger, you have my attention. And I was like, so what's Freddy's all about? And just by coincidence, the young lady is the manager there, and the gentleman that was with her, who was, I'm pretty sure, also her beau, Nick, works there too. And they said, well, it's sort of like this other restaurant that shall not be named. And I was like, yeah, well, that place used to be good, and now they're not anymore. And at least not the ones locally. And they're like, well, duh, of course we're better than them. And, but, and so anyway, I rarely drive. I'm not going to lie. I rarely drive more than 4 miles from my house for anything. I'm not a big driver, and I'm very into, if it's more than 4 miles from here, I don't need it. I drove like 12 miles there today to try this burger restaurant. Because I went home and I looked at it online, and it says something about the way they cook the burgers. They're crispy at the sides. Uh-huh. They weren't lying.
Yeah. They're awful tasty.
You're going to owe me like a Freddy's gift card for not ever saying, hey.
For not ever telling you about it? Okay.
You know that I really like burgers.
I do.
I'm going to say with complete certainty, way better than Five Guys. Blows those guys off the planet. Okay, Five Guys has fries that are cooked in peanut oil, and that's really special. But the burger. Okay, my son just decided to yell down during the sound check, sort of there. I didn't have, but the burgers are superior. And if you're going to be a burger joint, your burger has to be the best thing on the menu.
Yeah,
so,
I agree.
As you just heard, Stormy Wiz, who is not Stormy Wiz anymore because that was 9 years ago.
Yeah.
He had the fries. He had a California burger. It was like, nom, 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 right in his face. He had ordered a small fry, and he got like this gigantic serving. He's like, that's pretty good for a small. And I was like, I think it might just be a standard size fry. I got just the single with no mustard, because we all know how I feel about mustard in general, and especially on burgers.
Sean from the chat room offers a dissenting opinion.
Sean, this is my sound check, dude. We can talk about it next episode.
Don't you say those lies.
Oh, about Five Guys? Oh, Five Guys is great. It's just they're the Fry Guys.
I think that Five Guys is really good, and I enjoy them a lot. I think that Freddy's is absolutely better.
Oh, did you hear that, Amanda? She's so
Did I
happy.
hear?
Amanda, she's the young lady who's the manager who was like, hey, here's how you get to my store. And I was so enticed by the burgers that I drove 12 miles. So listen, I know this sounds like a super long like PSA. I did not get paid to do this. I really want the Spiral to know about the delicious burgers at Freddy's. And we had the dessert too. They have like the custard type stuff that you get at like Culver's, the Midwestern place.
We have those here.
Yeah, I know. Well, I never knew that I had one 2 miles from my house until my dad introduced me to Culver's. He lives out in Milwaukee now. And then I kind of wished I didn't know that Culver's was 2 miles from my house because, again, they're all about the custard. But I did have a custard dessert at Freddy's, and it said it was a pumpkin pie concrete. I was like, oh, well, that'll be good. It'll taste like pumpkin pie. No, I watched them make it. They literally put a slice of pumpkin pie in the cup before they mashed the whole thing together in a little cloud of deliciousness. So Freddy's, you're the place. Freddy's.
That's good.
Thanks, Amanda and Mark. Well, I kept calling Mark for coming into my store, Nick, and telling me how awesome it was. It's going to be really hard to stay away, especially the crispy edge of the burger.
John says that he thinks Steak and Shake is the best. He says Steak and Shake forever, but not their little shoestring fries. He doesn't like those.
That was actually the place that I was not going to name because I didn't actually want to say in the air. I think they said the Sarasota locations are going through some tough times. I mean, literally, there was one of them that was shut down for a day or so, and they changed out the whole staff, and things just aren't the same. If I understand cooking food to order, which Freddy's does, by the way, another Freddy's push, but when you wait for your food to get cooked to order and the slice of cheese on the burger is still cold, that's wrong. If you're going to cook it to order, make sure my cheese is melted. Okay, so that's our sound check. So is everybody in the chat room saying that it's okay?
Yes.
Okay.
There's one thing that you and I will have to address. It's very little. It's that the screen is a little bit off center.
Do they mind if we test it now?
We can't. We'll just have to kill the stream, but then we can do it.
Okay. Well, just one last thing before this sound check is over.
Okay.
I have to say this: Sink the Sailors. I think that's going to mean something to Nick and Amanda both. It's possible they graduated from high schools with rival football teams.
Okay.
Sink the Sailors. Right. You have to be from Sarasota, Florida, to know what that means.
Okay, I was going to say because I have no idea what that means.
It's okay.
All right, fair enough.
It's along the lines of University of Arizona and ASU.
Well,
it's a big rivalry. Okay.
There is no bigger rivalry.
It's along the lines. Okay.
Okay. It can be in the neighborhood.
Exactly. And,
you can compare it to that.
I have to tell you that Ian and I are University of Arizona, which means you and Riley have to be Riverview Rams. Sorry, Amanda. Sink the Sailors.
All right. Riverview Rams. Go Rams.
Okay. Bye.
We'll be back.